What's going on, YouTube? Ronan here. We're back in the Kingdom of Venusti. And we're going to do a little build. Oh, wait a minute. We're not in the Kingdom of Venusti. This is our build site. This is our test ground. What am I doing? Oh, I guess we're going to do a Redstone video. Alright. Well, we are back in our Redstone test ground where we do all manner of weird, crazy stuff and see what things happen. And we flip levers and doors open. We run at walls and they open magically and shut behind us. We set up to do a thing that didn't work with a block that actually works, but only because of certain features, which I never did a video on because I figured it out fairly recently. But we will come back to that, and I'll tell you about that a little bit later. So why did I build another one of those and that right here? Well, what kind of gate is that? So those two versions, one's the walkthrough, it's the proximity sensor one. The other one is the flip a switch and it's a pocket door. And that effectively is what that is too. It's a pocket door. But did they really have pocket doors and castles and forts and whatnot in the medieval era? No, they didn't. They had swing gates. And that's exactly what we've made. We've made a swing gate. Right? How cool is that? Swing gate. Add a little bit more realism to your build, ladies and gentlemen. Now, you may look at this and think, oh, that's kind of crazy. What's he going on here? So this one sets the whole area, the gate, to be a log, right? And that's what you see right there. That one being energized makes it look like that. This one being energized deletes the open gate logs and makes them air. Now, when I flip this, when I energize it, actually, so I had that backwards. So this makes the open gate logs. This makes the shut gate logs air. When I de-energize it, it does the exact opposite. So this makes the open gate air, or the open gate area logs, whereas this one makes the opened gate itself air. So it erases the logs that made the gate open, and this fills in logs to make it shut. It makes sense in my head. If you make this one log, this one has to be air. If you make this one air, this one has to be log, vice versa. It doesn't matter if this is log or if this is log. These two are interchangeable as to which one's log, which one's air, or more importantly, which one is the block of your gate and which one is air. But you just have to make sure that you maintain your array of where these points are. So from here, I'm looking at 825.8, negative 1298, to, what is this? This is 829.5, negative 1298. That is your array of your gate. So that is going to be the array of log 2 in one of the blocks, and it's going to be the array of air in one of the other blocks. Okay, that makes sense to everybody? Okay. Now, this is the same as the trigger block for the lights and for the gate and all that goodness over there. It's just the detect this switch, if it's powered or if it's unpowered, and if it is powered, we put a redstone block right there. If it's not powered, that redstone block goes away. Now keep in mind this switch has to be over on this side, since these arrows are facing that way. If these arrows were facing this way, I'd have to have the switch over here somewhere. But since these arrows are facing that way, the switch has to be over there. That's just the way it works. And then of course you don't need the redstone lamp. I just do that so you can see if it's powered or if it's not powered. But I will put the code for all of this into the comments. It's reusing a lot of code from the other ones. I just decided, you know what, can I do that? And it turns out I can. So here's one where I could have made this design exactly like that design. This design and that design, they do the same thing, for what they are. But this is just arranged differently. This is a little bit more compact than that is. But they do the same thing. So here we've got what looks like the entrance to a castle. We've got it's a little wooden plank area. This might even be water area right down here for a moat. So you might even call that a drawbridge. That's because it is. It's a drawbridge. And it goes up and down. We can raise a drawbridge now. Now there may have been somebody that has put out a video on how to do this before, but I have not seen it. And I've been trying to do this kind of thing for a long time. I've seen drawbridges in Minecraft. I've seen drawbridges in Conquest Reforged where they design them out and they look cool, and they're either in this condition or they're in this condition, and they look really pretty and they're all nice and they look awesome, but they don't actually operate. Well, now it can operate. So that's my contribution on that one. I think it's cool. I think it's neat. I think it'll add a lot to different builds. And I will put the coding for this in as well. It's very, very similar. And you can set it up this way. You can set it up that way. It doesn't matter. And this is the same thing. Whereas this is planks or whatever your block material is made out of. And this is air. Whereas this is air. And this is planks. Or, like I said, whatever your block material is. Now, this is the same kind of thing. Now, in the one I built, these are never touched by the command blocks. They stay where they are because it makes me think there's a hinge, right? And you could really go super nuts in your design and do this, right? Do that. Like, there is no kidding, there's a hinge. And you could even put some we're just going to do it real quick just so I can show you how you can really make this look kind of cool and look like there's actually functioning hardware behind there, right? You do that, then you do that, and you have it coming out. Have that coming out. Pop, pop, pop. Right? So there's actually something going on there. Well, then when we come up, where'd the switch go? There it is. We flip the switch. That stays there. You see, I didn't even code it for that. It stays there. So your bridge is moving. It has the illusion that it's moving. You've got your pivot point, right? I would choose probably a different block. And be careful what block you choose, because if you're facing north-south and you want to use a Conquest block, like say this one for anything, the most important thing you have to do, you look at it and it's 430.0. That's the code for it. Well, if you Google Conquest block IDs, and I'll put the link in the description. If you Google Conquest block IDs, it'll give you a list of all the block IDs, both the noun name and the number. Any of them that end in 0, you can paste them and they will appear perfectly fine north-south, right? But they will not work if you go east-west. I haven't played with it enough to see which block it is that goes east-west and appears properly. But like this block 4-0, that would work. This is a standard Minecraft block right here. This is, and so is the cobble. Oh, excuse me. So when you go to use those, they work. Now I don't necessarily like the way the wood looks, but I just needed some wood so I can show it without going through and searching and seeing which one it actually works for there. If you do like a dark oak wood plank, that would probably look real sharp. but that's how you do it. And I'll post the description of what to the block IDs. And you see I've got my arrowed towards here, command blocks right there. So hopefully y'all like this. Hopefully it is useful for your builds. The swing gate is pretty cool. I really like that idea. The drawbridge is awesome. In my opinion, in my humble opinion, I think this is really cool, and I think this is a great addition to a lot of the different builds. I'm going to be using it in Venusti, and hypothetically, if there's going to be a castle or a keep near Whaleboro, there is. We will be using this there, hypothetically. Totally doing it. So, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell button. You get updates when I post new videos. You might get updates when I post long dark videos. There might be one coming out later on. But you guys have a nice day, and keep building.